everyone, I am Cadet Misael Siradok from the Scream 1G, and this is our topic for today, which is the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, also known as BJMP. So first, the BJMP exercises supervision and control over all cities and municipal jails throughout the country. The enactment of Republic Act No. 6975 created the BJMP. It operates as a line bureau of Under Department of the Interior in the Local Government or DILG. So, from the word jail, it is control over all cities and municipal jails throughout the country. It is created under the enactment of Republic Act No. 6975, and also it is under the Department of Interior Local Government as one of their bureaus. So the three bureaus was the PNP, BFP, and this one the BJMP. So let's proceed to functions of the BJMP. So first, formulate policies and guidelines on the administration of all districts, cities, and municipal jail nation. So it means ang number one is same yapon sila sa PNP ga formulate sila og policies and guidelines throughout the country or nationwide. So let's proceed to number two, formulate and placement policies for the programs of correction, rehabilitation, and treatment of offenders. So it means ang number two is ga-implement yapon sila og policies para sa programs of correction, rehabilitation, treatment of offenders. So number three, the plan programs funds for the subsistence allowance of the offenders. Number four, conduct researches, development, and placement plans and programs for the improvement of jail services throughout the country. So it means number four kay ga-conduct po sila researches and plans about how to improve bitaw sa jail service nationwide or throughout the country. So let's proceed to organization and key position in the BJMP. First, the BJMP, also referred to as the Jail Bureau, was created pursuant to Section 60 RA 6975 and initially consisting of uniformed officers and members of the jail management and penology as constituted under Presidential Decree numbers 765. The Bureau shall be held by the Chief of the rank of the Director and assisted by a Deputy Chief with the rank of the Chief Superintendent. It means ani kay dapat ang mamuno sa BJMP is ang Chief with the rank of the Director and must also be assisted by the Deputy Chief with the rank of Chief Superintendent. So let's proceed to the central office is the command and staff HQ of the Jail Bureau, composed by three command groups, which is kaning number one ang Chief BJMP Deputy Chief o Chief of Staff. So, lagi mo sa 6 coordinating staff of divisions, which is Administration Division, Operation Division, Logistic Division, Finance Management Division, Research Plan and Program Division, Inspection and Investigation Division. So, lagi mo sila 6 special staff of groups, which is General Service Unit, Health Service Unit, Chaplain Service Unit, Community Service Unit, Finance Services Unit, and Hearing Office. So, lagi mo sila 6 personal staff groups, namely, muna sila ang 88 Camp, Intelligence Office, Public Enforcement Office, Legal Office, Administration Office, Internal Audit. So, proceed na sa Regional Office. At the regional level, each region shall have a designated assistant regional director for BJMP. So, every regional office kay naay kuan bitaw na madestino nga kuan kining Assistant Regional Director of BGMP. Like niya po sa provincial level, district office, and city municipal office. So, let's proceed to rank classification of the BGMP. So, Director, the position is Chief of the BGMP. So, ang mag-appoint sa iya is the Secretary of the DILG. So, number 2 is Chief Superintendent. Yung position na sa direct kay Assistant Regional Director. Tapos, ang appoint naman sa iya is the Secretary of the DILG. Number 3, Senior Superintendent. Same gyapon sila sa Chief Superintendent. Position naman nila is Assistant Regional Director. So, sa appointed yun sila sa Secretary of the DILG. Number 5 is Superintendent. So, same gyapon sila, Assistant Regional Director, yung sila ilang position. Tapos, kaya gyapon Secretary of the DILG, gyapon nag-appoint sila. So, there is a Chief Inspector is the Warden, ilang position, and appointed sila sa Under Secretary of DILG. So, ang Warden, trabaho nila sa Pisuhan is sila anting suri bitaw sa kada pisuhan ilang is tanaw ng mga kinabuhat sa mga pinili susulod. So, sa Senior Inspector is Warden yung yung position. Kung po siya, pwede rin po siya sa Under Secretary of the DILG. Tapos, Inspector, Warden yung yung position, which is, pwede rin po siya sa Under Section of Secretary of the DILG. So, dirita sa pinakalas, Jail Officer number 1 or GO number 1 to Senior Jail Officer 4 or SGO 4. So, ilang position na diri is jail guards. Sila na ang nasa mga gabantay sa entrance sa pisuhan. Tapos ang appoint sila is which is the Chief of the BGMP. So, this is my report for today's group. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. This is my topic. It's about duties and responsibilities of warden. The warden is responsible for the direction, coordination, and control of the jail. This includes the security, safety, discipline, and well-being of inmates. The office of the warden may organize the following units. 1. Intelligence and investigation team. It gathers, collects, and submits intelligence information to the office of the warden on matter regarding the jail condition. The warden is responsible for the overall management and supervision of the jail facility. This includes ensuring the safety and security of all inmates, staff, and visitors. Jail Inspectorate Section. Inspect jail facilities, personnel, and prisoners and submit reports to the warden. Once the information is collected, it needs to be analyzed to identify patterns, trends, and connection. Identify potential threats and provide valuable insight for investigation. Public Relation Office maintain public relation to obtain the necessary and adequate public support. Relation Office maintain public relation to obtain the necessary and adequate public support. A public relation office, also known as a PR office or PR department, is a department within an organized is responsible for managing the organization communication and relationship with the public, media, stakeholders, and community at large. The primary role of a public relation office is to shape and maintain a positive image and reputation for the organization. Building and maintain relationship with journalists, reporters, and media outlets to facilitate positive media coverage of the organization. This can involve using press releases, organizing press conferences, and responding to media inquiries. Assistant Warden. The Office of the Assistant Warden undertakes the development of a systematic process of treatment. Administrative groups. The administrative groups take charge of all administrative function of the jail, bureau, personnel, management, branch, assignment, personnel, procedure. Amitimus is a warrant issued by a court directly directing the jail or prison authorities to receive the convicted offender for the service of sentence imposed therein or part detection. Security groups. The security groups provide a system of sound custody, security and control of inmates and their movement, and also responsible to enforce prison or jail discipline. 1. Escort platoon is composed of the escort section to escort inmate upon order of any judicial body up and summon of a court of transfer to other penal institution. B. Subpoena section receive and distribute court summons, notice, subpoenas other.
Okay.
A security platoon is a military unit responsible for providing security and protection in various operational settings. The primary role of a security platoon is to safeguard personnel, assist, and critical infrastructure from potential threats. The specific tasks and responsibilities of a security platoon can vary depending on the mission, location, and branch of the military involved. Security protecting military base, installation, and facilities from unauthorized access, sabotage, or other security breaches. This can involve perimeter security, access control, and monitoring of surveillance system. Security platoon. Working platoon is responsible for overall security of jail compound, including gates, guard posts, and towers. They are also responsible for the admitting and releasing unit. Rehabilitation purposes group. This group provides service and assistance to prisoners. 1. Medical and health services branch provides medical and physical examination of inmates upon confinement. See, the medical and health services branch is typically a part of a larger organization such as hospital, healthcare system, or government agency. This branch is responsible for providing medical and health services to individuals. This can include a wide range of services from preventative care and check-ups to treatment for chronic condition and rehabilitation service. Of selection, preparation, or personnel. Report individual record file. 1. Record and statistics branch keeps and maintains booking sheet and arrest reports, keep on orderly record of fingerprints and photographs, present prepares statistical data of inmates, property, and supply. Branch takes charge of the safekeeping of equipment and supplies and materials needed for the operation of the jail. And finance branch. Service branch takes charge of the preparation of the daily menu, prepares and cook the food and serve it to inmates. General service branch responsible for the maintenance and repair of jail facilities and equipment. It is also tasked with the clean lines and beautification of gel compound. It most computing brands tax to receive art decision and compute the date of the full completion of the service of system of inmates. Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, my topic is all about Reception and Diagnostics Center or RDC. And this is my explanation. Watch this. Reception and Diagnostics Center or RDC. This is a special unit of prison in Camp Sampaguita where new prisoners undergo diagnostic examination, study and observation for the purposes of determining the programs of treatment and training best suited to their needs and the institution to which they should be transferred. There are the following staff member. Number 1, psychiatrist, responsible in the examination of the prisoner's mental and emotional makeup. Number 2, psychologist, responsible to conduct study on the character and behavior of the prisoners. Number 3, sociologist, study the social case situation of the individual prisoners. Number 4, the educational counselor, conducts the orientation classes in order to change inmates' attitude towards education and recommended educational program for the prisoner. Number 5, the vocational counselor, to test prisoners' special abilities, interests, and skills and recommends of the vocational course best suited to the prisoner. Number 6, the chaplain, encourage the prisoner to participate in the religious activities. Number 7, the medical officer, that conducts physical examination and recommends medical treatment of prisoner. Number 8, custodial correctional officer, recommends the transfer and type of custody of inmates. And that's all. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am, sir, mates. This video I'm going to discuss the RDC or the Reception Diagnostic Center. An RDC is typically a facility within a prison system where newly incarcerated individuals are received. And the RDC, these individuals undergo a series of assessment and evaluations. This can include medical and mental screenings, risk assessments, and educational evaluation. Dili lang kay katong mga gidawat na mga piniriso gikan sa city jail ang kinahanglan agi sa RDC, but also ang katong mga piniriso nga mulaya na. This purpose of RDC is the assessment to determine the most appropriate placement for each individual within the prison system, taking into account their health, safety, and rehabilitation needs. In psychiatrists, their primary responsibility is to evaluate the mental health status of the individuals and provide appropriate care and treatment. Examining prisoners through a psychiatrist is important for several reasons, and one of these is the mental health assessment. Many individuals entering the correctional system may have pre-existing mental health condition or may develop mental health issues during their time in prison. As psychiatric examination help in assessing and diagnosing this condition, ensuring that individuals receive appropriate treatment and support. Psychology is a field that focuses on understanding human behavior through emotions and mental processes. An RDC may conduct research to contribute to the advancement of psychological knowledge and develop evidence-based intervention. When we say developing evidence-based interventions, refers to the process of creating and implementing intervention or treatment that are supported by scientific evidence and research. Vocational counselor. The primary responsibility of a vocational counselor in RDC is to assess the vocational skills, abilities, and interests of individuals who are entering the center. They may be conduct assessments to identify the individual's strengths, weaknesses, and potential career paths. Sa presuan man gud dili na sila nga gipreso lang, kundi ginahatagan pod sila chance na makita ilang skills, abilities o kakayahan o interest sa ilahang talent, kay namong giuban nga dili nila gagagamit tungod lang sa ilahang nabuhat nga mao hinungdan nga napreso, but also na sila ginatawag nga program sa presuan. Isa na dani ang sports program o napoy carving. And ang kaning carving is katong mag-carve sila sa kahoy na ginahimo nilang negosyo para pod pagkakitaan na pwede nila ihatag sa ilahang mga pamilya. And then they have also plastic nga ginalanay para gina-form nila og bisag unsang animals like baki or elephant na pod sila katong botilya nga naibarko sa sulod o bisag unsa pa nga talent o skills nga ilang na discover pagsulod nila sa presuhan nga gina-assist sa mga vocational counselor. The chaplain RDCs are often trained in religious studies, counseling, and pastoral care. They provide a listening ear, offer guidance on spiritual matters, and provide support to individuals who may be dealing with feeling of guilt, shame, or remorse. They may also assist individuals in connecting with religious resources such as religious texts, prayer groups, or religious leader from their respective faith community. Kung usa mangod ka piniriso labi nag ma-feel nimo na kauban nimo sa community o na lang sa imong palibot is katupong mga nakasala, so you feel the feeling of guilt o kauaw na feeling nimo wala na ipag-asa, so the chaplain is the way nila para ma-reconnect ka sa God or pagawas nimo o makapahinulsol ka kung sa imong mga nabuhat.
The quarantine cell or unit. This may be a unit of the prison or a section of the RDC. Admission procedures in prison. Mga example sa mga procedures sa prison. And receiving. Mga example is sa pag-abot ang mga binilanggo moagi sa usa ka standard nga proseso sa pag-inom. Nakit ang mga pagsusi sa pag-ila, pagpangita sa kontrabando. Ang pagkumpleto sa ginkinahanglang papeles dayon katagan sila ug silda katagan og sukaranang mga kinahanglan ng pagipahibalo sa mga lagda o rutina sa pasilidad. So, mga ito ang mga example sa receiving. And then, checking of commitment papers. Pag-check sila mga papers dito sa sulod sa prison. Ang mga pag-priso sa mga papeles. Ang mga pagproseso sa mga papeles sa commitment. Naglakip sa pag-verify sa mga importanteng detalye. Sama sa ngalan sa piniriso, identification number nila, kalapasan o impormasyon sa pagsintensya kung ano sa silang makagawas, ano siya sila sistemsyahan. Kini nga proseso nagsiguro sa tukma nga dokumentasyon ug mga katabang sa pagpadayon sa integridad sa sistema sa prisuhan. Matong example sa checking of the commitment papers. And then identification, the prisoner's identity is established through the picture in the fingerprint appearing in the commitment order. Ang pag-ila sa mga binalanggo naglakip sa cross-reference. Kailangan sila ilhod sa ilang gi-assign nga identification number nga sa kasagarang gi-issue sa pagkuha uban sa ilang personal nga mga detalye sama sa ngalan o litrato, yung mga pictures and biometric data, yung mga papers sama-sama fingerprints o facial recognition na himo usab og mga gamiton alang dugang sa pag-verify. And then searching this step involves the frisking of the prisoner and the searching his personal things. Ato sa lakang sa pagpangita, ang mga opisyal na gayon sa usa ka bungkus nga frisking sa mga pineriso. Pinaagi sa pagkahid sa ilang mga kamot sa gawas na sinina sa individual aron mahimbalan ang mga bisan unsang tinago ng mga butang o kontrabando. So masaklan din silang nakita. Kini nga proseso makatabang sa pagpadayon sa usa ka luwas nga palibot sulod sa pasilidad para walay magubot sa sulod pag-abot na sa sulod sa prison. So briefing and the orientation, the prisoner will be briefed and oriented on the rules and regulations of the prison before he will be assigned to the RDC or the quarantine unit. Ang mga binilanggo maagi sa usa ka komprehensibo nga briefing o orientation. Diin sila makadawat og impormasyon mahitungod sa mga lagda sa pasilidad, adlaw-adlaw nga rutina ug naa ang mga serbisyo. Kini nga sensyon nagtumong sa pamilyar kanila sa pagpalibot sa prisuhan. So paghatagan o gibog aton sa mga dilauman o mga oportunidad alang sa rehabilitation. So mga example sa mga admission procedures in prison.
Next is pardon. So pardon is an act of grace extended to prisoners as a matter of right, vested to the chief executive or the president as a matter of power. So pardon is the release of an offender from guilt or remission of punishment. So ang power sa pardon is generally exercised siya by the chief executive of the state, and also it allows kanang mga convicted person to reclaim lost civil rights after a conviction. So we also have conditional pardon. So this conditional pardon, it serves the purpose of releasing through executive clemency a prisoner who is already reformed or rehabilitated but who cannot be paroled because the parole law does not apply to him. So, kaning conditional pardon is it is conditional kung ang effectiveness is nagdepende sa kung unsa pag-fulfill sa kondisyon based sa iyang nabuhat na sala, and also the convict was free as long as they remained in the colony. So for example, an individual was sentenced to prison under a 3 strikes law, kanang ikatulo na siya nakasala for repeatedly stealing from a mall. Then ang president ana is magpardon sa iyaha on the condition that he not travel to the mall until the date his prison sentence would have ended. So mao to siya ang pasabot sa conditional pardon. So executive clemencies. First we have the amnesty. Amnesty is a general pardon extended to a group of persons, such as political offenders, purposely to bring about the return of decedents to their home and to restore peace and order in the community. So amnesty is act di siya of forgetfulness for past acts, and it is granted by a government to persons who have guilty of crimes. So, ibali, to bring about the return of decedents to their home and para ma-restore ang peace and order sa community. And then, commutation. Commutation is an act of the president changing or reducing a heavier sentence to a lighter one or a longer term into a shorter term. It may alter death sentence to life sentence or life sentence to a term of years. So, it does not forgive the offender but merely to reduce the penalty pronounced by the court. So, kanang kibali substitution ni siya of a lesser penalty for that given after a conviction for a crime. Kanang shortening of a term of punishment or lowering of the level of punishment. So, example, a 10-year jail sentence may be commuted to 5 years or a sentence of death may be commuted to life in prison. And the next is the reprieve. So, reprieve is a temporary stay of the execution of sentence, especially the execution of the death sentence. Generally, reprieve is extended to prisoners sentenced to death. So, kaning reprieve is the date of execution of sentence is set back several days to enable the chief to study the petition of the condemned man for commutation of sentence or pardon. So, means kung ano siya, temporary suspension or delay in the implementation of a criminal sentence ordered by the court. So, when reprieve is granted, a criminal is temporarily relieved from the execution of sentence. So, let's move on to the institutional custody, security, and control. So, diversification concept and importance. Diversification is an administrative device of correctional institutions of providing varied and flexible types of physical plans for the more effective custody, security, and control of the treatment programs of its diversified population. So, diversification, it is the principle of separating homogeneous type of prisoners that requires special treatment and custody separation can be done through proper classification of inmates. So, diversification is murag strategy ni siya, kanang strategy to build sets of securities that are governed by a variety of legal rules. So, investing strategy used to manage risk. Muna siya ang diversification. How is diversification carried out? So, gibutang diri na it can be done either by building special institution for different classes of prisoners through proper segregation of inmates, or big institutions can be broken into smaller units. So, mao na siya ang kanang tubag ani nga pangutana nganong how is diversification carried out. And let's move on to aims of diversification na. So, we have 3. First is more effective execution of the treatment programs. And then, to prevent prisoners from moral and physical contaminations of one group by another. And the third one is to prevent unnecessary custodial risk. So, kaning more effective execution of the treatment programs is para mas kanang effective ang iyahang kanang pamalakad so sa sulod sa prisons, and kaning prevent prisoners from moral and physical para dili sila kanang like for example is nay magbugno, magaway-away, dapat i-categorize na sila ilain-lain. And then to prevent unnecessary custodial risk is para na siya sa para sa mga prisoners kanang if ever is na ay madisgrasya sulod sa prisuhan or na ay kanang silang health magkasakit sila. So mao na ang aims of diversification. The classification process. So classification is a method by which diagnosis, treatment, planning, and execution of the treatment programs are coordinated in the individual case study. So it is a process of determining the needs and requirement of prisoners for assigning them to the programs according to their needs and existing resources. So we have 4 separate but coordinated classification procedures. First is diagnosis. So diagnosis is prisoner's case history is taken and his personality is being studied through examination and observations. And then sa treatment planning is the formulation of tentative treatment programs suited for the prisoner. And then execution of the treatment program is the application of the treatment programs and policies by the classification committee. And last one is the reclassification. So treatment program is kept current with the inmates' changing needs. So the purpose of the classification process is kanang adapted to determine the work assignment type of supervision and custody which will be applied to the prisoners. So important siya para na mag-groupings and ma-organize ang isa ka butang. Example is kanang mga records or mga informations of a prisoner or inside the jails, mga confidential records and informations. Next is the prison security, custody, and control. So we have first the security. So security, it involves safety measures to maintain the orderliness and discipline within the jail or prison. So kaning security does not only mean nga by which escapes are prevented but also to measures that are necessary to stop high-risk prisoners from directing criminal activity taking place outside the prison. So dili lang kay security kay para ma-prevent ang mga mag-escapes ng mga inmates but also to kanang ma-stop ang mga high risk kanang mga criminal activity na mahitabo sulod or gawas sa prisuhan. And then prison discipline.
Prison discipline is the state of good order and behavior. It includes maintenance of good standard of works, sanitation, safety, education, health, and recreation. It aims at self-reliance, self-control, self-respect, and self-discipline. Ang prison discipline, maghatag og kahapsay o pamatasan ug ilang i-maintain ang safety, education, health ug ang kalingawan sa mga prisons. Kini nagtumong sa pagsalig sa kaugalingon, pagpugong sa kaugalingon, pagtahod sa kaugalingon o pagdisiplina sa kaugalingon. Preventive discipline. It is the prompt correction of the minor deviation committed by the prisoners before they become serious violation. Ang preventive discipline, kung sila'y makita nga di maayo og liho sa isa ka preniso, ilahan ning i-correction para dili na mahimong seryoso ang nakita nila sa isa ka preniso nga di maayo. Control. It involves supervision of prisoners to ensure punctual and another. Ang control sa mga preniso para masiguro ang kahapsay. The three aims of institutional security and control. Number 1, Prevent of escape. 2. Control of contrabands. 3. Maintenance of good order. The 7 essential requisites for sound custody, security, and control. Number 1. Adequate system of classification of prisoners. Number 2. Regular inspection. 3. Adequate system of counting. 4. Set of rules of control and safety precautions. Number 5. Plan for the control of contrabands and equipment. 6. Keying system. 7. Emergency plans. Custody. Custody is the guarding or penal safekeeping involves security measure to ensure security and control within the person. Within the prison. The prison custodial division carries it out. The prison custodial division is charged of all matters pertaining to the custody of the prisoners and security of the institution. Ang custody, pagbantay o penal safekeeping aron masiguro ang seguridad o pagkontrol sa sulod sa prisuhan. Ang prisuhan custodial division gi akusahan sa tanang butang nga may kalabutan sa kustodiya sa mga permiso ug seguridad sa institution. Disciplinary board in jail. The disciplinary board for jail is a board that is organized and maintained within or local jail for the purpose of hearing disciplinary cases involving violation of jail rules and regulations by the inmates. Disciplinary board in jail. Ang disciplinary board for jail is isa ka board nga giorganisar o gimaintain sulod o lokal nga prisuhan para sa katuyuan sa pagdungog sa mga kaso, pagdisiplina nga nalambigit sa paglapas sa rules and regulations sa mga permiso.
Good day everyone. My name is James Carlo Giuyua. Today our topic is all about the disciplinary board is the authority that can expose disciplinary punishments such as number 1, reprimand. 2, temporary or permanent cancellation of privileges in jail. Visiting privileges, recreational privileges, and other privileges. So, ang temporary or permanent cancellation of privileges in jails ay temporary or permanente nga pagcancel sa pribilehiyo sa mga bilangguan, mga pribilehiyo sa pagbisita o mga pribilehiyo sa kalingawan o uban pang mga pribilehiyo. Number 3, extra fatigue duty or assignment to disciplinary squad for manual labor. So, extra fatigue duty is dugang kakapoy nga katungdanon o buluhatonon sa usa ka disciplinary squad alang sa manual labor. Number 4, close confinement in a cell or solitary confinement, which punishment shall be imposed only in the case of incorrigible inmate when other disciplinary measures had been proven ineffective. So, close confinement in a cell or solitary confinement is sirado nga pagkabilanggo sa usa ka silda o nag-inusarang pagkabilanggo nga dili malapas sa 7 ka adlaw sa bisan unsang bulan sa kalendaryo. Ang silot ipahantang lamang sa kaso sa dili mabag-o nga piniriso kung ang ubang mga lakang sa pagdisiplina mapamantud-an nga dili epektibo. Number 5, transfer to other penal institutions. So, ang transfer to other penal institutions balhin sa ubang mga institution sa penal. 6, loss of good conduct time allowance. Pagkawala sa good conduct time. Function of disciplinary board. The warden tasks the board to investigate the facts regarding the misconduct referred to it holds sessions of as often as necessary in a room that may be provided for the purpose. All cases referred to it must be heard and decided within 48 hours from the date of the receipt of the case. So, gitahasan sa warden ang lupon sa pag-imbestiga sa mga kamatuoran bahin sa giingon sayop nga binuhatan. Ang tanang kaso nga gitumong niini kinahanglan paminawon og hukman sulod sa 48 ka oras gikan sa pitsa sa pagkadawat sa kaso. Limitation of punishment imposed to offenders. The general rule, every violation of jail, prison discipline shall be dealt with accordingly in extreme cases where the violation necessitates immediate action that the warden or the officer of the day may administer the necessary restraint and report the action taken to the disciplinary board. So, ang pagkahalatang panuntunan ay ang bawat paglabag sa disiplina sa kulungan at haharapin ng naayon sa matinding mga kaso. Under Section 3 of the BJMP manual states the limitation of punishment imposed to offender as number 1. No female offender shall be subjected to any disciplinary punishment that may affect her unborn or nursing child. Walay babae nga nakasala ang ipailalom sa bisan unsang silot nga pagdisiplina nga mahimong makaapekto sa iyang wala pagpanataw o nagpasuso nga bata. No handicap offender shall be made to suffer a punishment that might affect his health or physical well-being. So walay baldadong nga nakasala nga himuon nga mahimong makaapekto sa iyang panglawas o physical nga kaayuhan. Number 3, corporal punishment, confinement in dark, ventilated cells, and any other form of coil. An unusual, inhuman, or degrading punishment are absolutely prohibited. Number 4, whenever the penalty of extra duty or solitary confinement imposed affect the health of the offender, medical examination shall be conducted to determine his physical fitness to serve his punishment. Sa matag higayon nga ang silot sa extra duty or solitary confinement nga gipa hamtang makaapekto sa panglawas sa nakasala ang medical nga examination ipahigayon aron sa pagtino sa iyang physical nga kahimsog sa pagsilbi sa iyang silot. Number 5, the jail physician shall visit the inmate undergoing punishment. When necessary, shall advise the warden if the recommends the termination of the punishment on grounds of physical and mental health. So, the jail physician shall visit the inmate undergoing punishment. Ang doktor sa prisuan mubisita sa piniriso nga gipailalom sa silot kung gikinahanglan matambag sa warden kung iyang i-rekomendar ang pagtapos sa silot tungod sa physical mental nga kahimsog.
Good day everyone, my name is Tom 660. Today I will talk about treatment of special offenders. Special offenders include women offenders, drug addicts, alcoholics, mentally ill persons, and sex offenders. So what is special offenders? Special offenders include among offenders, criminal offenders with mental health problems or sex offenders. So in jail or in prison, a person with a persons in jail. So na sila yung mga special treatment, especially mga women's, so lahi sila in jail. So special methods of offenders. Female offenders. Women's quarters should be fully separated from the main quarters, and no means shall be allowed to enter the women's quarter. So nakasabot nga lahi ang separated men's or women's in jail persons. So when the women's in jail, so wala yung mga men's makasulod sa ilang quarter because of under the law. So, according to the under the law 15, rule 15 of the BGMP states that unusual offenders should not be held in jail or prisons with a common jail prisons population. They should be separated with other institutions. Is there temporary detention house? So mo ni sila nahimong separated sila because according to the law of under the law of rule 15. Drug addicts, alcoholics, 6 opiates must be controlled through segregations and close supervisions. The medical officers shall make special treatment and medications. So, ang drug po, so gatik kung na yung mga persons na gatik og drugs na nalapan sila or na sila mental health problems, so unang separated sila, so under sila sa rule 15 of law. So nangundan nga na mental hospital because of their brain nga nakadaot sa drugs. So, for today this is my report. Treatment of special offenders.
This is the report of 190 to 191 page, model of criminal treatment. Number 1, control model. This prison management which emphasizes prisoner obedience, work, and education. The example of crime control model: profiling arrest made for investigational purpose and lengthy detection before accusation. And then number 2, responsibility model. This prison management that stresses prisoners' responsibility for their own action, that administrative control to assure prescribed behavior, proper classification of inmates according to this model permits placing prisoners in inmates according to this model. The less restrictive prison consistent with security, safety, and human confinement. Prisoners should be given a significant degree of freedom and held to account for their action. The example of responsibility model refers to a person's ability to understand his or her conduct at the time a crime is committed. And then number 3, custodial model, based on assumption that prisoners have been incarcerated for the protection society and for the purpose in incapacitation. The example of custodial model is the custodial model based on the notion that criminals are incarcerated in order to incapacitate them from committing further crimes.
This is my report about rehabilitation model, integration model, and total institution. So, rehabilitation model is a security and housekeeping activities are viewed primarily as as framework for rehabilitative efforts. The rehabilitation model is the idea that criminal offenders commit crimes for reasons outside of the choosing to do so, and they can be rehabilitated by some form of treatment that eliminates the cause of the crime. And the rehabilitation model also emphasizes the importance of treating offenders with dignity and respect. Rather than simply punishing offenders for their crimes, the rehabilitation model focused on providing them with the support and guidance they need to make positive changes in their lives. Integration model. It is linked to the structures and goals of the community correction but has direct impact on prison operations. The integration model involves social rehabilitation and it's recommended to the last from the start of the prison until post-release. The International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR, states that it is mandatory for prisoners to be treated in order to re-enter society. The primary purpose of reintegration programs is to help the previously incarcerated adapt to living in the community after having spent time in prison. Research has indicated that the primary mechanism which prevents persons who have been released from the prison from committing new crimes is employment. The prison, like other total institutions, is a place of residence and work where a large number of like-situated individuals cut off from the wider society for an appreciable period of time, together lead an enclosed, formally administered round of life. A total institution is a closed social system where lives for their members are organized into a strict set of rules and schedules. Total institution serves to take care of those who cannot care themselves or threaten society. Purpose of total institution. In general, they are designed to provide care to a population who is unable to care for themselves and or protect socially from the potential harm that this population could do to its member. The most typical example includes prisons, military compounds, private boarding schools, and lack mental health facilities. This is the example of total institution. Several types of total institution exist. Mental asylums, Nazi concentration camps, military boot camps, convents, and monasteries.